and the Honor Cast here today in beautiful sunny Tempe, Arizona. We want to welcome you to the show and also welcome our amazing host today. We have Elise Richmond and Nathan Heredia.
Oh my gosh.
That's you.
Thank you so much, Producer Sean.
Thanks, Producer Sean.
That was great. I'm glad we tried that.
Warm
Elise,
welcomes.
how warm is it today in Tempe? What is the
it's
temperature?
actually really hot.
It is?
No, it's hot. I looked.
Let's
And
see.
on next Wednesday, the high is supposed to be like 100 something, 102.
Oh my gosh. It's
in
96 right now.
September?
How was the walk here in your cardigan? Was it amazing?
No.
It
really
wasn't?
needs to look at my camera.
It's okay. Well, it doesn't get better for all the folks who have just recently moved to Arizona. It does not get better. Exactly. I couldn't say it better myself.
I know.
But the worst is behind us in terms of the summer.
We're getting into
114 days or 114 degree days. Yeah.
114 days of summer vacation.
104 days. Shout out to the real ones who know that. Anyways, Elise, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about benefits.
Let's go.
Crazy topic.
I know. I'm super excited to talk about this.
Wow. Good for you.
So the tough thing about VA benefits
It's complicated.
is it's complicated, and I know you have so many questions about it, and we want to answer them as best as we can. Who do we have joining us today?
We have Joanie Sturgeon.
Joanie's the best.
She is the best.
Joanie is one of the school certifying officials. She's the one that processes benefits. So if you've not heard from her already, you will definitely hear from her at some point.
Yeah.
So we look forward to hearing all of the things that she's going to talk about. Just to give a bit of, of a warm up before we get into that conversation.
Right.
VA forms.
Let's
Elise,
get into them.
This is the first step of the entire process. Do you know what a COE is?
Certificate of Enrollment.
No, I'm sorry. Wrong. So a COE is a certificate of eligibility, and it actually does not come from PTVC. It actually comes from the VA.
I was very close.
You were honestly like just a smidge off. But basically the COE is just the VA telling you this is how much money you will be getting. Or this is the benefit that you qualify for.
Okay.
And we'll go into like all of those.
Where do they go to fill out these forms?
So for all of these forms, almost all of these forms is through us.
Okay. On our website?
On our website.
Okay.
However, the COE actually starts with the VA because the VA is the one that tells you this is what you qualify for. This is how much money you'll be
So
getting.
they'll send it to the students, this form?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to like sign up, of course.
Okay.
Like, fill out a bunch of stuff through the VA.
Okay.
But and then you don't even need to once you get a COE, that is just telling you what you need to know for the next step, which is the BRF. Do you know what the BRF is? I almost spoiled it. The BRF.
You said benefit.
I did say benefit.
Benefit readiness form.
Honestly, I feel like we got to give that to her.
Am I right?
You get a point.
Okay. What do I win?
So you're actually wrong.
Oh, I thought I won.
So it's the benefits responsibility form.
Okay.
So the benefits responsibility form is basically what you were saying. I mean, it's the same thing in that all you're doing is telling the university like this is the benefit that I'm using based off of what the COE says, which comes from the VA.
Okay.
So you get your you get your COE. The COE says Chapter 33.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you do the benefits responsibility form through the Pat Silman Veteran Center, then you know that you got to click on Chapter 33. And then that's it. It gives you a little bit of extra information, and we'll ask Joanie about that as well.
Yeah.
But that's all it really is just telling the university, I'm using this benefit. This is what the COE says. You don't need to send it to the Pat Silman Veteran Center. Just do your online forms.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens next? The EAF.
I actually know what this one means.
Okay, what is it?
Enrollment activity form.
Okay.
What does it do, though, Nathan? I couldn't tell you.
You win a car, by the way. That's what I was going to say.
Thank you.
A brand new Hot Wheel.
Toyota Corolla.
a Toyota Corolla Hot Wheel.
Hot Wheel.
I'm sorry. So the enrollment
Okay.
activity form is basically just telling the school, I want to use my VA benefits for these classes.
Okay.
So in the process of like going,
So you have to tell them you want to use benefits, and then you have to tell them which classes you want to use those benefits for.
yep,
Okay, interesting.
I know it is kind of weird. However, I will say part of it is like telling the VA, like, I'm going to use it on these classes.
Okay.
But it's also a way for the VA to check whether or not those classes qualify.
True. Okay, that makes sense.
So
yeah.
if your EAF is rejected, it's
Yeah.
because rejected is in like, we couldn't certify this class.
Right.
Which is like the Beatles 101, like music 354. I don't know.
It's because you're not.
It's because you don't
It's
need
not
that
covered,
class.
yeah.
If you're coming in from like the community college of the Air Force, you already have a bunch of electives.
Mm-hmm.
So you're already done with those. You don't need to do this random music class as a business major,
Even if you may want to.
even if you might want to. And it is pretty fun. I did a country music class when I was in school.
I did a theater class, and I took
How was that?
ceramics.
What is ceramics?
You don't know what ceramics is?
Is that like pottery?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
actually
nice.
really love ceramics, like sidebar. I am passionate about it. But
Okay.
anyway.
What's like the best thing you've ever created, ceramics wise?
I created like an anatomical heart, like a ceramic heart.
Like a heart or like a
No, like
heart?
anatomical. Yeah.
Oh
like
my
with
God.
veins and stuff.
That's
But
terrifying.
I also, I don't know, I created some cool stuff. I have like usable ware, like bowls and plates and stuff.
Hell yeah, dude.
Anyway.
But so it's basically just the enrollment activity form for your transcripts.
Basically,
Okay.
as far as I know, yeah, it's just something to help verify that your credits are being transferred correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I literally didn't know that, so I appreciate you doing
No,
that.
it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so that was that in terms of like forms. There are other forms that people need to do. They're just very specific to certain things.
Yeah, this is like the base for when you're trying to apply for benefits. And again, Joanie will go over in more detail kind of the step by step.
Yeah. In terms of like the other forms, we don't really need to touch on all of them, but one of them is like the course approval form. So if you've done an EAF, one of those classes doesn't qualify, but you feel like it should.
Like a petition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically just petitioning it. The hardest part is you need to get your academic advisor to sign off that class does count. So there have been times where students have reached out to their academic advisor. They fill it out, they send it to us, and it says, the advisor says, this actually does not qualify.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, we've wasted all this time.
Right.
So at that point, you need to really lock in and think about like what courses you need to do, because it changes the amount that you're paid based on how many classes you're in.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, that's that.
So the
PWC.
difference between us and the VA.
Yeah.
Well,
Elise.
we're not the same.
Yeah. Elise, I cannot tell you how many freaking times somebody has said like, I need to go to the VA center, or like, I'm going to go down to the VA center in the MU. Not us.
We are not one and the same. We have a VA representative who works for us, which
Keisha
is
McGaw.
Keisha McGaw.
The best.
But if you attended the welcome events, you would know that we are not the same. And even under the VA, there are different branches for what services you're looking for. There's the health branch. There's different, I don't know.
The education,
Yeah.
funeral.
So I think that's pretty much just what people need to know is we are not the same. We do have someone
Yeah.
on site though. So Keisha is now making rounds to different campuses during the months. Yeah.
The thing, I mean, you touched on it, but the thing I want to hammer is like, we have so little communication with the VA other than certifying those classes. So if you're having issues with specific things in the VA, or like with your GI Bill benefits, Keisha's really the best one to go to, especially with like Chapter 31. If you have questions about Chapter 31, you can reach out to Keisha, but we can help the best that we can, but really the VA is sometimes the best one to reach out
She
to.
will be your main contact for that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anything with like VR and E too. Keisha can help with that stuff too.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's that. Last thing, I did want to go over ASU calendar.
What are we talking about? The calendar.
So something to think about, and something we'll definitely want to ask Joanie about when we have her on, is sort of the deadlines. When do you want to have your enrollment activity form done? And when do you need to know whether or not you can drop a course? So
It's Is it not posted on It is posted on the website.
So that
for ASU.
it is.
Yeah.
It's also on your My ASU as
Okay.
well. So all you have to do is scroll under your classes, and the calendar is there. I'm gonna drop dates for spring 2026, but if you're listening way beyond that, they tend to be around the same week. So for C session for the spring, eat these. The tuition and fees 100% refund deadline is January 25th
Okay.
for session C. So that means because it starts, I think, the 12th, you basically have 2 weeks to figure out, is this class for me? And do I want to continue to use my VA benefits for this course?
Sorry.
You're good. So the thing to think about is the tuition and fees 100% refund deadline. So if in spring 2026 you're taking classes and they start on January 12th, the C session refund deadline is January 25th. So you basically have 2 weeks to figure out, is this class for me? Do I want to use my VA benefits for this course? Are me and this professor clicking? Is this
Right.
going to work?
Right.
Because if you drop that class after the refund deadline, whether that's January 25th, whether it's a different semester, you still have to pay for that class, even
Right.
if you drop it.
Right.
And on top of that, if you do it after, it shows in your transcript. It's not the end of the world. It just shows as a withdrawal.
Right.
But it is still on your record.
Right.
So you want to be very cognizant of when you're dropping classes and whether you're going to be on the hook for
Right.
paying for those classes. Because there's
Yeah.
nothing worse than paying thousands of dollars for a class
You
that
did
you
not
didn't
take.
even finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of why I wanted to hammer that in.
No, it's important.
yeah.
I mean, deadlines are probably one of the most important parts of school. So,
Anyways, Elise, I say we have Joanie on.
let's bring her in here.
Okay.
So, one of the first questions is, what is the difference between the chapters? So, 31, 33, 35, if I'm missing any.
Yes, so there's quite a few chapters. Most of them are stipend based.
Okay.
So whenever you're enrolled in classes, the VA will issue you a stipend based on your rate of pursuit. Some of them do also pay tuition. The first form that students fill out with us, the benefits responsibility form, goes over a lot of that information, as well as VA website goes over a lot of that. But I would say when it comes to specifics like that, I urge students to come and talk to us because it's very much an individual type of thing. So
Right.
it's
Right.
good to get that FaceTime with them.
Yeah.
So one of the things, one of the main attributes that the audience has is they are either a first-time student, so they are coming onto campus maybe this spring, maybe next fall, and so they're wondering what benefits they might have, what that all how that might help them throughout the semester,
And how to get started.
yeah, but also there are folks who are just thinking about going to ASU, and they might be listening to this and that they know that they have VA benefits or their 9/11 benefits, but they don't actually know what that means, and they don't even really know what chapters are. Can you kind of explain what are these chapters, and maybe even walk us through each one?
Sure. Okay, so I'll start with dependent benefits.
Yeah.
Chapter 35.
Okay.
It's a benefit that's given to dependents who sponsor is 100% completely and totally disabled.
Okay.
And that's a stipend-based benefit. So outside of that one, there's also Chapter 33. If sponsor transferred benefits to the student while they were in service, then they would have Chapter 33 as well.
Gotcha.
Outside of those two, the other ones, if you're in the reserves, you might be eligible for Chapter 1606.
Okay.
And if you're active duty, you can be eligible for either Chapter 30 or Chapter 33.
Okay.
If someone gets out of the military and has a service-connected disability, they can apply for Chapter 31, which is VRNE. And that's kind of like the all-inclusive benefit. So if students can do that one, we definitely encourage them looking into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So for that, how would someone go about first starting to like apply to use their benefits for the different chapters?
Yes. So the application starts with a VA.
Okay.
I don't have access to students' information as far as like who was in the military and when.
Right.
So I can't really help them determine that.
Right.
But the VA should have access to that information.
Okay.
We do also have this great resource on our campus called the Vet Success on Campus Counselor.
Okay.
She has access to that information as well.
okay.
So if students are not sure what benefit they might be eligible for, we encourage them to go speak with her because she has a little bit more access to that information than we do.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is Keisha McGaw that we're talking about.
Yes.
We name drop Keisha literally all the time.
We do.
So she still has not been on the show, but yeah,
We'll get
we're
her on.
hyping her up a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I did have another question actually.
ahead.
When
Go
you
ahead.
say stipend, can you explain a little bit like what that would mean for them?
Yeah, so the VA will post what the rates are every
Okay.
year. It changes. But essentially, if, say, they're a full-time student, for every full month of enrollment, they'll get a set dollar amount
Okay.
paid directly to them.
Okay. Thank you.
So-
I don't know all this stuff, so.
So how do people know that they're eligible? Like I know you mentioned going to the VA, but what does a person need to be in order to have VA benefits?
Well, so each benefit has different qualifications, different requirements. So as long as you submit an application to the VA, they have access to all that information to determine whether or not you are actually eligible. Okay. So that's where the application is where you start.
Is there a place to find like the list of different chapters and benefits?
Yes. If
Okay.
you go onto the VA's website, just va.gov,
Okay.
and you can search education benefits.
okay.
And it goes over a lot of them there.
Perfect.
And also on our website, what is it, like veterans.asu.edu, we have a section that says benefit types.
Oh,
and it kind of
perfect.
walks people through, and it has hyperlinks, so people can go to each one and then go straight there.
So what's one of the most common questions that students ask you?
I would say the most common question is they just want to know kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Because we're at the Pat Tillman Veteran Center, the benefits processing side, we're really like the liaison between ASU and the VA. So there's things going on with the VA, there's things going on with ASU. And so a lot of times students are like, where's everything at?
Right. Yeah.
So it's really just helping them understand at least getting our bases cleared, getting all the paperwork in for us, getting that submitted to the VA. And then if it is something that's in the VA's hands, then we just let them know that. Like, go ahead and give the VA a call.
Right. Right.
I'm going to derail us for 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So when I joined the Air Force, they sat us down and they said, decide right now, you 18, 19-year-olds, what benefit you want to have, either the Montgomery GI Bill or the 9/11 bill.
Is that really what happens?
They literally said,
Really?
sit down and check one of these. However, just pick 33. Just pick 9/11. Don't pick Montgomery GI Bill. And all of us were like, what is that?
Really?
I had the
And-
opposite experience.
Really?
Okay. Well, tell me about what the difference is, and also like what are the pros and cons of each one.
What branch were you again?
I was Navy.
Oh, okay. So do you think it's different based off branch? What they
don't know.
recommend?
I think it's just
No?
based off the information
Okay.
that people have.
Okay.
I think a lot of people in the military use their benefits, but there's also a lot that don't.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's very much that just like a hearsay.
Oh, okay.
So I was encouraged to choose 30.
Okay.
And I think it was also probably just the time that I was in as well.
Yeah.
Now, Chapter 30 is a stipend-based benefit. It doesn't cover tuition.
Okay.
So, hopefully you get enough to cover your tuition. But that's not always the case.
Right.
Chapter 33 is a tuition benefit.
Oh, okay.
So there's three separate parts to it. There's a housing allowance based on your rate of pursuit. So that's like the stipend that you get with Chapter 30.
Okay.
But you also get your tuition paid for,
Okay.
as well as a book stipend based on the number of credits that you're enrolled in.
Okay.
And I will also mention about the tuition. It pays in-state tuition. So if students are non-resident, then ideally, if they're living here in Arizona, they can just petition for residency with the residency office.
Okay.
If they're online, it's not quite so easy.
Right. Right.
So we have an unlimited number of yellow ribbon slots for
Right,
online students,
right.
but it's only if they're at the 100% tier of the benefit.
Okay.
So some students I think the lowest percentage that students can have is 50%. So if you're under 100%, it's not going to cover all of your tuition. And also on top of that, the out-of-state tuition you have to worry about as well.
Okay. And what is that percentage for? The 50 to 100 to...
So it's essentially saying all the rates
Okay.
that the VA will pay,
Okay.
it pays that percentage of the rate.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense.
How common is yellow ribbon? Because we get so many questions about it, especially for online students. How likely is someone to get yellow ribbon?
Well, if you're an online student, if you're 100%, then you'll have yellow ribbon.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're an in-person student, you have to apply for it, and there's only 60 slots available currently.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a first come first serve type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's also super easy to petition for residency. So
Yeah,
that's kind
yeah.
of what we encourage students to do. Like if you can, petitioning for residency is going to be your best bet.
Yeah. Regarding residency, some of the critiques that I have heard in the past is it's not automatically applied. So if you go to another university, it might automatically be applied. But when you come to ASU, if you're using benefits and you are moving to Arizona, you should be getting residency, but you have to petition, of course. Joanie, do you have any insight why that is the case? Like why it's not automatically applied? I have an assumption, but I don't know if you might have something.
I mean, from my understanding, it's just kind of how they process it.
Okay.
So with students who are using VA benefits, they make it very easy for you to petition. So baseline, if you're not if you're not living in the state or haven't lived in it for so long, then you're just going to be deemed as non-resident. But as long as you can show that you are using VA benefits, it should be an easy switch as long as you're living in the state.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my assumption is like if somebody is moving out of town to Arizona to go to in-person classes, I think the school just takes it however, like whatever the permanent address is. And that's why people have to go in. And that's why it can get kind of tricky and especially stressful for those folks. But I also think it's just a thing of just confirming that somebody lives, like you're saying, that somebody even lives in
Yeah, I
Arizona.
think Sean mentioned at the welcome events that there's like 8 different things you can do to apply for residency. Like get a driver's license here.
Yeah.
Register to vote.
Register vote. That's one. Yeah, just different things like that.
It is, I will say it is super easy. It's just really tough if you're not planning ahead. So I had
Right.
a student walk into my office a couple of weeks ago and he moved here to go to school and he didn't even look into residency until like a week before the petition deadline was. And
yeah.
he didn't have all his documents because all like his bank statements
Right.
had to get shipped or
Right.
like mailed out to his old address.
Yeah, and then
yeah.
shipped to him again.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So it is a little tricky, and you definitely have to plan ahead
Right.
if you want to do that.
I will mention, so there's a deadline to apply for residency, but there's also about a week or two after where there's another deadline to provide documentation.
Oh,
So
okay.
even if,
Okay.
as long as you get the petition in, you
Yep.
do still have a little bit of time to get the documentation
Okay,
bit of
submit
wiggle
as
room.
well.
that's good. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Anyways, back on track.
No, it's good. I think we wanted to talk about residency anyways.
Well, speaking of deadlines, what would your recommendation be for a student who has already enrolled in their classes? They are obviously already admitted to ASU, and they just want to know how to, I guess, get the ball rolling with their VA benefits. What is like the first thing you recommend they do?
So if they've already applied with ASU, they're already enrolled in classes.
Yep. What's next?
They would start, and they've already applied with the VA
Okay.
for the benefit.
Okay.
Then they'll start the paperwork with us.
Okay.
Okay. Do they
So-
need to do anything with their COE that they get from the VA?
So we actually don't request COEs anymore. The only time that we do request it is if you haven't applied and you're
Okay.
indicating to us that you want to use benefits.
Okay.
And so if we start processing your paperwork thinking that you do and then we realize you don't,
Yeah.
then we're like, okay, you need to apply and then please send us your COE so that we
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But yeah, so the first form that your students will fill out with us is going to be the benefits responsibility form. That's
Okay.
really what helps set up their account to be able to utilize their benefits here. And then outside of that is just the enrollment activity form.
Okay.
And this is what we need from them every semester. We have over 8,000 students who are using benefits every semester. So it's the way that we track when a student wants benefits applied to their account, because not every student wants their benefits applied every semester.
Right.
So it can definitely be.
Makes sense.
Can you, not to say, explain this to me like I'm 5, but I know that
literally, though.
I know one of the most confusing things when you move to Arizona and you're gonna get enrolled at ASU, and you're like, I'm gonna use my VA benefits, and you go on our website, and then you see all of the benefits checklist, and you see all of the things that you have to do. It can just be so confusing looking at every single one of these forms and think, okay, which one do I even need to do? Can you explain to me like I'm 5 what the benefits responsibility form is and why we're even doing this form? Why do we have to do this?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so it's actually, the form itself kind of explains what's expected from you and what you can expect from the VA, from ASU, while using your benefits. So it kind of is a very well-rounded explanation of how your benefits work and what to expect.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
But also internally, it's there. That's what helps set up students' accounts, because they won't always be able to access the enrollment activity form until they've submit the benefits responsibility form. So it's kind of what allows them access to start doing paperwork with us every semester.
So all it is just selecting what the form is or what your benefit is, and then that's it.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, it goes over some important things as well, like dates to keep in mind for every semester. There's 100% tuition refund deadline.
Yeah.
You definitely want to keep that in mind when you're considering dropping and withdrawing from classes.
Right.
And I will also mention to please come talk to us when you're considering that, because it can affect your benefits. It may not, but it also could. So we don't want students to be getting in a debt situation and be like, I didn't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I guess on top of that, explain it to me like I'm 5, is the enrollment activity form. So what is it? Why do we need to do it? And how does that impact the VA? How does the VA play into this?
So the enrollment activity form is essentially your enrollment certification. Okay. It's you letting us know whether or not you want your courses certified with the VA. You can select each one. There's also different things that will kind of remind you of, such as like when we would need a new form.
Yeah.
If you add classes, we need a new form. Our system doesn't just automatically pick that up. And it's also something that we need you to let us know if you want your benefits applied to it.
One of the questions I had was like, what is that one of the biggest challenges that students face or issues that they face is not knowing that they need to submit one again for each semester, or what would you say? Yeah.
That's kind of one of the nice things. Once students fill out the benefits responsibility form, right, the first form, every time they enroll in classes for a new semester, it'll automatically populate as a task for them to complete.
Okay.
So as long as they're submitting that, if we do need anything further, we can usually catch it.
Right.
Like if you do add classes and forget,
Right.
It's usually something that we'll request, but generally speaking, just keep an eye on your account. If something doesn't look right, give us a call.
So the hardest part is the initial steps, which is, doing all of the forms. But you're saying all a second semester student really needs to do is just the enrollment activity form. That's all they really need to worry about.
That's it.
So it feels like so much when
It feels like so much,
Yeah.
and it's so simple. Because even I was like, I don't know what the difference between all these benefits.
Yeah.
This is crazy to keep track of. Like, honestly.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
Can you explain, like, so the student they sat down, they've done the enrollment activity form 1 week ago, and they check their bank account, and there is still nothing. What is happening, and why have I not got my money?
Okay. So yes, if you've been in the military, you understand that you're paid for the time that you've completed.
Right.
Yep.
So if classes start August 21st, you're not going to get that first payment until September 1st.
Okay.
So the only payments that come early is for Chapter 33. It's the book stipend.
Okay.
They'll pay you as early as 2 weeks before the semester begins, so that you can get your books and be ready for classes once they start. But the monthly stipends, you always get paid the month after you've completed classes.
Okay. So there's just a natural 1 month wait before you actually get paid, even when you start the semester.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I would say 1 month wait.
Okay.
Depending on when you submit your stuff, but the next month after classes have begun is when you can expect the first stipend to come through.
Okay. And I guess that goes into my next question is, what would your recommendation be for a new student who is looking at all these forms, or they've done their enrollment activity form and they're trying to figure out what happens next? What is your recommendation for them to do?
Well, a lot of times they will end up calling us, and we can let them know whether their enrollment has been submitted or not. If it has been submitted, they're welcome to call the VA to kind of get an idea of when they should expect payments to be coming through. And if they're in a situation where they really need the money to come through, they can also request a hardship with the VA to get that expedited.
Right. Okay. I've heard of that. So I was wondering that.
Okay. What was I going to ask? It was just in my brain.
Advice.
Yes. So let's just say hypothetically, someone who's listening is planning on enrolling in spring. What should they do right now?
Well, ideally, they would enroll in classes whenever that's available.
Okay.
They've applied with the VA for their benefits. They've submit their benefits responsibility form. And then also, once they enroll in their classes, they should also be able to submit an enrollment activity form.
Okay.
Okay. So when would you say, again, if we're starting classes January 12th, when should that person have their enrollment activity form done?
What's the earliest they could?
So it's really as soon as they're able to enroll in classes.
Okay.
So depending on what group you're in, I know there's like a couple
Priority or-
week
yeah,
window,
yeah.
when students can enroll. But as soon as you enroll in them, it opens up your enrollment activity form so you can submit it same day.
Okay.
If you are a first-time student, if you're not sure what classes to enroll in, this is also a good time to talk to your advisor and
Yes.
figure out what classes to enroll in.
Yes.
So that when those enrollment dates open up, you can get all the stuff done.
Right.
Got you.
Because for, well, I know it is like for work studies, but for benefits, is it required to be enrolled in a certain amount of classes for each session each semester, or is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there is the rate of pursuit is different depending on if you're an undergraduate or a graduate student.
Okay.
And it can also change between each benefit chapter.
Okay.
So we do have like the general just posted on our website.
Yeah.
Like if you're an undergrad student, C session, you need 12 credits.
Okay.
If you're in A and B sessions, you need 6 credits to be considered full-time. Grad is different though between all the different chapters.
Right.
So, but luckily,
Yeah.
undergrad is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Because ASU has the A, B, and C sessions, if you can't pick just C or just A and B, and you end up doing a mix of them, we encourage you to give us a call
Yeah.
so that we can help you understand what that's going to look like with the
Yeah.
VA.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing is a lot of the time, and we love advisors on this show. We absolutely do. We were hyping them up last episode. But the tricky thing is not all advisors are in the loop with how the VA works and
Right.
what qualifies as full-time. So even though 12 credit hours is full-time at ASU, just having 12 credit hours through the VA is not does not always match. Can you give me an idea of like what to be at 12 credit hours in a semester? I'm asking you to do math. I'm really sorry.
Oh boy.
So what would a situation be where somebody would not qualify through the VA to be full-time despite being at 12 credit hours?
So if they're in 9 credits in the C session and 3 credits in the A session. So they would be full-time for all of A session, but once A session ends, because the VA is viewing the enrollment dates of every credit that you're enrolled in. So once A session ends, they're only seeing that you're in 9 credits. And since you need 12 to be considered full-time, you're only 3/4 time.
Okay. So what is the impact of that? What happens?
The amount that you get paid every month is going to change.
Okay.
So you'll be getting the full-time stipend, right, in this scenario for all of A session, but then once that ends, you're only getting paid the 3/4 time.
Got you. Okay. So somebody's finished their EAF. It's been certified. Sorry. It's been certified. Don't laugh at me.
Surf or tide.
It's been surf-tied. what happens next, especially like for a Chapter 33 student, since that's like the most standard one? What happens throughout the semester? I know something like verifying enrollment. What does that look like?
Yes. So if you set it up with the VA to get like text messages or emails, you should get that from them. And you just respond back like yes or no if you've remained enrolled. The other chapters, I would say to just call the VA. Because whenever you apply for the benefit, not apply for the benefit. Whenever you're certified, the VA should send you a letter kind of explaining what's going on.
Okay.
And it should mention about verifying your enrollment. So getting that set up should be on there. If you didn't see it in the letter or you didn't receive the letter yet, then just call the VA just to confirm.
Is that the GI Bill hotline? Mm-hmm. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, so either end of month, beginning of the month, around that time frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check in with them.
And then this is kind of a silly question, but it's a very common one. Can you kind of explain the difference between BAH and MHA? Do you know what I'm saying there?
I don't even
It's
know
not
what
actually different.
I don't know what those are.
Basic allowance for housing or monthly housing allowance.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think it's just like the different branches have different names
Titles,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's when I say stipend, that's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
That's essentially what it is.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, the reason I ask is just because we get like
That question.
BHA or MHA.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I would want to know if it goes to different places or if it matters.
I've already forgotten actually. Which one is the one that's in the military? Is that BHA?
Yeah, I always use BAH.
BAH. That's what I meant.
But
What? Yeah, I've already.
One of those
Listen, y'all.
acronyms.
Listen, y'all.
there's a lot of acronyms. Yeah.
Do you have any last words of advice for the listeners as your role as a CO?
Just keep an eye on your account. Definitely take the time to understand how your benefits are supposed to work.
Yeah.
That way you know when something is going wrong.
Yeah.
So you know when to reach out.
Yeah.
Because definitely the sooner we can take care of something, the better. We don't want you to get stuck in a pickle.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much that we can do too. You know,
Right.
we can't make the VA hurry up and process something.
Right.
We can help you on our side, but that's only half the battle. So yeah, just know what to expect. Take the time to learn what to expect and give us a call.
Yeah.
We don't mind talking to students.
No, yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out because that's what they're here for, and they do a great job. And where can people find you if they want to come see you?
Yes. So we have a Pat Tillman Veteran Center at every campus.
Okay.
Here on the Tempe campus, we're in the Memorial Union, the lower level.
The basement.
Let me think.
In the basement.
We're in the
Lower level.
southwest corner.
Oh,
Of the building?
the cardinal directions.
There you go. Okay,
We are
Navy.
by the food court.
Right. Yeah.
That as well. Thank you, Joanie, for joining us. Audience, thank you for listening. We hope that your questions were answered. If you are still feeling confused, that is totally okay. We threw a lot at you. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, reach out to Joanie. You can always contact us at ptvc@asu.edu, or you can reach us at ptvcadvocate@asu.edu. Elise, where can they go if they have questions in terms of sorry, I lied. Let me continue. Links in the description. Do you want to say just whatever you want to
I
say?
will
there?
say our links are in the description.
Okay.
Anything that we mentioned in this, anything that could be useful for you, we'll link down below.
Perfect. Okay. Many thanks to producer Sean and the media and communications team that Elise oversees. We thank you so much. Tanish and Amanda, we thank you so much for helping us get set up and letting us use the Creativity Commons. This is an awesome spot.
And thank you, listeners.
Thank you so much, listeners. Until next time.
Go Devils.